Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I wanted to do a brown smoky eye with some shimmer shades. This is what I came up with. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. I'm 35 away from 500 subscribers, which is my goal for August. So please hit that subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. Anything I use will be listed down in the description box below. If you'd like to see how I do this, then keep on watching. The palette I'm going to be using for this look is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Edition palette. I don't think I've used this one like alone in a video before. I think I've used the black shade a couple different times because it's a really good black. But I don't think that I've used just this palette for a look before. So I'm going to use it today, and I will put a picture around me of the colors I'm going to be using. Because I want a good sharp line for this. Other than cleaning up, I'm going to actually just use tape today. I also want to mention that if I seem a little tired today, I am. I slept fine, but like for some reason I just feel exhausted. And my husband was working on a car this morning and cut his finger open, and he probably should have got stitches, but we didn't want to pay for an ER visit, and it's a holiday today, so that would have been, the ER would have been the only place we could have gone. So we just didn't think it was worth it. We're just gonna get some butterfly band-aids and band-aid it super tight together, and I think it'll be okay. He thinks so too. So we just didn't think it was worth it, because like if anything, we would have been at the ER probably waiting forever. And he would have probably just needed like 2 or 3 stitches, I think. And we just didn't think it would be really that worth it. Worst thing that's gonna happen is he's gonna have like a scar. Starting with a 518 brush and going into the shade Henna, I'm just gonna start working this in on that outer corner and working my way slowly in with this and blending it out. And I also want a really sharp like point on these shades, so I'm gonna go into the tape. That way it has like a really nice like point. Again, off to a great start in explaining what I'm doing. So last weekend was, or this past weekend, so like today's Tuesday, I'm filming this on Tuesday. This past weekend was 4th of July weekend, I guess, technically, because 4th of July is today, but I don't know if like the weekend before the holiday is technically the holiday weekend or if it's the one after. So I'm not really for sure which one it really is. But we celebrated 4th of July this past weekend. So if anybody else celebrated their 4th of July, I want to know if you guys had a good time. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys might have done and if you guys enjoy fireworks or not. But we had a party with all of our friends. I think that's part of the reason why I'm kind of tired, and I think I'm also like sore because of this party as well. We were like throwing a baseball around. When I say we were throwing a baseball around, they came up with this stupid game, and by they I mean my husband and all the guys came up with this game, and they started throwing this baseball around, and we didn't have any gloves. And like it started off like with us just like standing around each other and just tossing it like in between us, and there was like maybe a foot, like maybe 2 in between everybody. We worked our way out into one of our like bigger fields that we have and spread out more, that way we could throw it farther. And then my husband came up with the idea to, every single time we would catch the ball, again, we're catching it with our bare hands. Every time we would catch the ball 10 times, we would spread out more. We would like take a couple steps back. And so the circle would slowly get bigger and bigger. So we would have to throw harder and harder to get the ball across the field. Using a Sephora crease brush, I'm going into that Coco shade, which is a dark brown shade. And I'm going to work that into the outer third. And I just want to darken this up. We were catching this ball with our bare hands, and after a while, our hands started hurting from throwing this ball, which like if you're just tossing a ball back and forth, like it's not that big of a deal. But we we're just like chucking this ball across the field, trying to catch it. If you play baseball or like softball or whatever, like you know how hard these balls can hurt, even when you're not really throwing them very far, which this was stupid. We didn't have to play this game, but we just kept going. We ended up like stopped moving out and started ending the game with like us scooting in. Every time somebody would drop the ball, we would have to scoot in. We got to the point where we like scooted in so close that we were like shoulder to shoulder, and we basically just started playing hot potato. And this is where the game ended because, of course, doing something stupid like this, we were bouncing it between our hands to each other, and it bounced up and hit somebody in the mouth. It hit somebody in the mouth, which it didn't hit him that hard, but it did connect his lip to his tooth. He was fine, but we were like, oh, yep, this is the end of the game. We should have known. We probably played this game for like an hour to an hour and a half. Just like wasting time because it was still light outside and we were waiting to start shooting off fireworks. With this smaller blending brush, I'm going to go into the black shade of this palette, which is called Truffle. And I'm just going to blend that in a little bit to give it a really, really dark spot here. And this black is like really, really black. And it's like one of my favorite blacks to use anytime I need a black. So if you're gonna use, I feel like I've said black like 20 times in this one sentence. If you're gonna use black, just be very careful with it and make sure you build it up slowly. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna say that word again. Anyways, about 4th of July, I want to know if you guys had an eventful 4th of July, if you guys did anything stupid like we did and got yourself hurt. Hopefully not severely, because I know stupid shit like that can happen. So I'm wanting to know if you guys have had any fun or anything you guys did that you want to tell me about. Also, if you are doing like 4th of July this coming weekend, I want to know you guys' plans. Let me know. I'm curious. I think it'll be fun. I'm going to go back in with that Sephora crease brush, and I'm not going to pick up any new product. I'm just going to use it to blend out that last shade, which was the Coco shade, with the black. And I just kind of want to blend that black out a bit more. And I do want to use this black eyeshadow. Here I go again, saying black a lot. I'm sorry. But I do want to use this black eyeshadow to kind of make like an eyeshadowed wing. I'm going to go back in with that 518 brush and go into the Henna shade again. And just kind of put this back on this center part, since I put a lot of the darker shades on top. And I'm just going to blend this in with the black and the Coco shade. There has to be a nest of birds outside this window, because every time I sit in here I always hear chirping. And I know I can hear it in the video because when I recorded one day, when I first heard it, it was like screeching, which is a little dramatic. It wasn't screeching, but it was like chirping like really loud outside my window, and I could hear it in increments in my video when I was editing, and I was like, that's kind of annoying. Of course, which like when you guys are watching, you probably don't pay attention to the background noises unless it's obnoxiously loud. And I feel like now, if you go back and watch that video, all you're gonna hear is that bird in that one spot where I'm talking about it. So hopefully that's not what happens in this video. You don't just continuously hear a bird chirping in my window. Using a e.l.f. blending brush, I'm gonna go into this Sandlewood shade, and I'm gonna make this the lightest point of this brown. So I'm going to put this on the inner corner, and I'm just kind of tapping it in because I have a tendency to blend too high up and it makes my eye shape really weird and I don't like it. So I'm really just going to press this in here and then slowly blend it out towards the outer side of my eyelid. Another thing I'm doing in this video is I'm going to use a bunch of different stuff that I don't tend to go for, and that goes with like highlighter and lipstick. I debated on using glitter again, but I didn't want to use glitter again because I used it in the last 3 videos. So I'm using a shimmer shade. I am having a lot of fun trying out all these new eyeshadows and stuff and trying new things because I feel like I never really had a reason to. And doing these videos gets me to do that. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm really glad that I'm able to do it now. I'm gonna go back in with this black shade again. I just feel like it needs to be darker, and I'm not getting it there. But I am excited that I get to try out all this new stuff that I didn't feel confident in trying before. And I definitely can see a difference between when I started these videos back in January, which I guess it was technically December when I first started, but it was like the last week. It was after Christmas. So I don't really count that, but I really just started in January, and I've already seen a big difference in my ability of doing makeup and like the different things that I didn't think I could do before and what I can definitely do now. And I'm having a lot of fun seeing that progression. It's really nice having the videos because like my first few videos are not great, and I still feel like they're not that great. I feel like there's a long way I can go in improving my videos, but it's really nice to be able to see the improvements that I've made. And I'm talking more, like I'm getting a little bit more comfortable talking and having more things to talk about and being able to feel like I'm talking to somebody behind the camera instead of talking to a camera, which again, if you've watched my videos, I feel like is the hardest thing. And I feel like a lot of people that do YouTube and like make videos say the same thing. It's just really weird. I already am not good at talking to people, so trying to talk to an inanimate object like I'm talking to people is just like a whole other step. I'm again going back in with that Sephora brush, and I'm just going to blend that black out a bit more. And I'm taking this brush all the way in towards that inner shade just because I want to blend everything out. I really want to get to doing special effects makeup. I think that would be a lot of fun, and doing like all the really crazy, like super intricate makeup looks that people do, like making like their mouths really big and like kind of scary stuff, which I've done a clown one before like 4 years ago on here. It's still on there, so if you want to check that out, I think I actually did pretty decent for never doing it like that before. But I want to do more stuff like that as I get better and I have more free time, because those kind of looks take like hours to do, and I just think they're really, really cool. And I would like to be able to start doing that one day. Going into that black truffle shade with a Morphe 160-116 brush, I'm going to make a wing out of this eyeshadow. And because I know I've already shadowed out black in this, I'm not going to blend this out. I'm just going to place it that way it is the darkest point of my eye. The first shimmer shade I'm going to use is called Dubai, and it's like a darker brown shimmer, and I'm using an e.l.f. blending brush to place this. For the inner shimmer shade, I'm using #blessed, and this one's more of a powder shimmer instead of the thicker shimmer like this one is. It's still in the same palette, it's just a different type. And I'm using this with a 213 brush. And I am going to blend this into the Dubai shade. These are very similar, I feel like, but it does give it more of like an ombre instead of it being just one big color. I'm going to use that Sephora brush and kind of just blend that Dubai shade into the eyeshadow that I have towards the outer third. I'm not adding any new product, I'm just blending. Before I take the tape off on this side, I'm going to do the other side off camera, get my base done, and then I'll be back to finish this look. So I've got the other eye on, and I wanted to come back on here and pull the tape off for you guys because I feel like it's the most satisfying part. Boop. That's what it looks like. Now I'm gonna do my face. I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. Using a Glisten Cosmetics F2 brush, I'm going to go into that Henna shade, and I'm going to blend that underneath of my waterline. And I do want to kind of blend it up into the liner that I used, or the eyeshadow wing that I made. I don't want to blend it on top of that black eyeshadow just because I don't want to cover it up. Using a small brush, I'm going to use that Coco shade right up against the waterline. And this is just to darken that under eye a bit more. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to blend it into that black, but I'm not going to go on top of that black. Taking that black truffle shade, I'm going to take the 160-116 brush and just sharpen that liner and kind of connect it underneath of my eye. I'm doing this just because I don't want it to be too noticeable that I used a piece of tape. So I kind of want to make it one flawless point to the under eye, to the outside of the wing. I am going to use the NYX Epic Ink Liner in the shade Black to connect the inside to that black eyeshadow. And I'm going to make like an inner cat eye And if I have to do this off camera, I'm sorry, but you'll see it afterwards. Off camera, I finished this eye. And then I also added a liner, which I don't have a lot of colors in eyeliner pencils, so I use the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner, which I'm not for sure if you should do that or not, so do not do what I do unless you do your own research and make your own decisions. But this was in the shade True Brown K, and then I also put on mascara. This is the Benefit Their Real mascara. For highlighter, I'm going to use the Nikkie Tutorials highlighter trio, and I'm going to use the shade Glow Goals, which is this kind of brown shade right here. I don't usually use this shade, so that's why I'm using it in this one. Now I'm going to use this on my inner corner to make a really nice highlighted point. I'm also going to put this on my brow bone, and I'm just tapping it on. I'm not swiping. With a 510 highlighting brush, I'm going to put this on my cheekbones as well. Anytime I use a palette with my finger, I always end up like sticking my nail in something, and I don't know why I do it. I do it every time. Either that or I hit the back of the brush. It's probably because I usually have the mirror like right in front of my face doing something, and I just like stick the end of the brush into it. So a lot of my palettes tend to have like little nicks in them, and it's annoying. I do it every time. Before I do my lips, I'm gonna set my face. I'm using the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus Gold Light. It's got like gold shimmers in it. For lip liner, I'm gonna also use the Kylie Cosmetics True Brown K lip liner. For the lipstick, I'm going to use the True Brown K lipstick. It came in the lip liner, and the lipstick came in her lip kit. I got them together, and I haven't used this in a while, so I wanted to use it for this. It's either going to be too much or it's going to be perfect. So let's hope for the second option. If it's too much, then oh well. I want to add like a gloss on top of it, and I've never used this before. This is the NYX Liquid Suede, and it's a metallic matte lipstick, so it's not really a lip gloss, but it has the metallic in it, so it's kind of shimmery. And I want to put this like right in the center and kind of blend it out. And I'm going to use my finger to blend it out. So that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I like hearing y'all's feedback, so please comment down below with anything you'd like to tell me or any future videos you'd like to see. Until next time, bye.